down to another review by Pichot. I'm doing it on the Chaos Walking Trilogy. If you watch my video on a library haul on St. Patrick's Day, I mentioned when I got the first book, The Knife of Never Letting Go, and the second book is The Ask and the Answer, and the third book is Monsters of Men, and this is it. Very big chunky book, 600 pages. But I finished it in like a day and a half because they're just so engaging and addictive. So definitely it's a brilliant series. It's by Patrick Ness, and as I said, it's a trilogy, so there are 3 books. But I'll put this down. But there is a prequel, a free prequel on Patrick Ness's website called A New World or The New World. I'll post a link to that in the box below. But it's a good enough prequel, so 23 pages. So it's about a boy called Todd, and he is just about to turn 13, which is the age of a man in this world. But there's 13 months in their year, so really he's like 14. And they live in Prenticetown, where there are no women. So there's like hardly no one left on the earth, and everyone in Prenticetown thinks they're the last town. And there's like 140 odd men, and Todd is the youngest, and there's no women. So in his mind there's no women in this world, which was strange to read at the beginning. And all the women apparently died because of this germ that got into the air, that caused all the men to be able to project their thoughts. Now, it took me a while to get my head around this. It's not that they have the ability to read other people's minds, it's that each man, their thoughts are projected out. Everyone can hear, in this town, since they're all men, everyone can hear each other's thoughts, and it's called noise. So it's really loud and chaotic, and you can never get a moment's peace because you can constantly hear other people, and Todd is just kind of sick of it. And at the beginning he is just wandering around, and all the animals as well, they have noise. You can hear what animals are thinking. But at the beginning then he hears silence, and he never heard that before, coming from something. And when he finds out what it is, it's a girl. So he is shocked because he never saw a girl before. He never met someone who had no noise. They just think in silence. He's shocked, and then for some reason he has to leave Prenticetown, and the two of them end up speaking this big journey over the 3 books, and it is excellent. So that initial premise was really interesting. I think the only part of the whole 3 books that I didn't love was the first third of the first book, because it takes a while to get into, and unfortunately the very end of the series, like the last chapter in this book, Monsters of Men, it was just a disappointing ending for me. Overall it was really excellent. One thing I found strange at the beginning too was that because it's from Todd's point of view, and Todd speaks in this certain way, like certain speech, certain dialect, the writing style is in that way as well, which is quite strange. Like you would be your Y-E-R, direction would be spelled phonetically, information would be spelled phonetically. Yeah, it's quite strange. Like it's a bit of like ungrammatical speech almost. Like they use ain't a lot, and yeah, so it's not perfect English. So I suppose the author wanted you to read exactly from how this person speaks and how this person thinks. And yeah, so at the beginning I wasn't crazy about that, but I did get used to it very quickly, and after a while it was no problem. But in between all that, there's just one friendship, one relationship that is so strong. When you read it, you feel so much emotion for these 2 people, because they're just so likeable characters and relatable, and I just loved reading about them. It's quite dark. Like, is it known as a children's book? maybe it won some award anyway for some children's literary award, but it's quite dark because there's lots of death. As I said, there's a battle and there's a war, and lots of like harsh war situations going on, like torture and things, um, and the two main characters in the book, they're very very young as well. So like as an adult, I'd no problem reading it, but I don't know if it's very children friendly as well. It's kind of fun in one way. The author goes crazy with the font. Usually an author might have one font, maybe italics or something, maybe one or two fonts, but this author goes crazy. Like in the first book, it's all from one character's point of view, I think, for the majority. The second book is the two main characters' point of view, kind of back and forth, and the last book is even more like, before it would be like a few chapters from this person, a chapter from this person, but it was like all in one chapter. It was constantly switching back and forth, which I wasn't too upset about. And there was a third character brought in as well in the last book, and I wasn't mad about his sections. I kind of skimmed them a little bit, but for each character they all had a different font. I was reading it, my sister was next to me, she was like, what are you reading? Like, she saw this on the page, there's a big bomb, and like as you see, like, this is the one character's font, this is the other character's font. See if I can find a third character. And this is another character's font. Very fancy. When you can read about their thoughts, their noise, that's in a completely different font too. And there's one page in the first book where it's all just like practically like scribbles all over the page. It's really cool. But I liked all that. I thought it was different. But definitely, it's well worth the read. This trilogy, it's really excellent and exciting, and you feel so much emotion and heart for the two main characters, and I really suggest you read it, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, now I'm going to do a spoiler review, and if you don't want to know what the spoilers are, I suggest you switch off now. Okay, this book is just all about Viola and Todd. My goodness, their friendship, their relationship just goes from 0 to 100, but not like straight away, like over maybe the second book you really feel it. Even the end of the first book, when she's shot and it's like Todd's world is ending. They're just, I just love their relationship. Like, they just are so loyal to each other, and they would die for each other, and it was just lovely to read, wasn't it? We had all that, but like there was no kissing needed or anything like that. I think there was like one kiss in the last book, and it was like just one line. Like, you didn't need all that romantic thing. It was just their strong friendship, and I just love that. As I said, I didn't love the ending to the series. Like, they were just about to be happy. That stupid mayor was finally dead. He was a frustrating character. And then Todd dies, and I was like, no, he can't die. I kept expecting him to come back to life, and he was dead. But then suddenly they heard his voice, or his noise. Ben heard his noise, so I was like, yes, he's going to wake up. But we don't even get to see the part where he wakes up. Like, I wanted a more satisfying ending than that. Why couldn't we have the happy ever after, where Viola and Todd get to go off to wherever they wanted to go? Yeah, I was kind of disappointed with that. But I mean, besides that, it was brilliant. I loved it. I think maybe the second book was my favourite because it changed so much. And the third book and the first book. But I did love them all. They're really long and chunky books, but I read them really quickly because I was so into them. And the world, from what Todd thought at the beginning, completely changes by the end. Like, there are women around, the spackle are different to what they thought. The prequel is really good if you want to get an idea of, it's about Viola on the ship, when it's travelling to the new world, and when it crashes, and you get a sense of like her kind of relationship with Bradley before that, and with her parents. And it was really sad then they die. It would be nice if there was like a little pre-online story about what happens like in the future for them, even if it was a few months into the future, a year. But anyway, that's my review. Chaos Walking Trilogy and prequel, very very good. And let me know what you think of it. So thanks very much for watching, and tune in to my next review.